for short, and like advertising and stuff, I call R3. So our mission statement is R3 was created to serve college students. We understand the college students' budget and created a business that allows customers to rent products when they want, for the time they want, and for a reasonable price. So what is R3? R3 is a rental business for recreational products, and you can either do daily or hourly rentals. The way it'll work is the customer will come and they'll pick a product they want to rent out, and I'll have like a waiver sheet that talks about like what would happen if they return the product late or if it was damaged when it came back, and just the sheet they would fill out would consist of their name and number, email, phone number, the product they want to rent, and the amount of time they want to rent it for. So our goals are to have attractive pricing to college students, customer service oriented, so people will continue to come back and rent from us, and have quality products. Like, it's not just going to be cheap products that I'm renting out. I want it to be quality. So the value proposition, there's no rental businesses on campus for these types of products, and I will explain the products a little bit later. And it's a low cost and a convenient location for students on campus. So I sent out a survey to 275 people, and I only got 98 responses, which is a 36% response rate. But two of the most important questions that were on there was, do you struggle with space in your dorm? And 77% of the people said they at least struggled a little bit. And then the second question that was really important was, would you rather buy or rent products? And 57% said they would rent them. And another question I had on my survey was what products people would like to rent out. And there was like frisbees, inner tubes, lawn chairs, hammocks, like a bunch of like beach type of stuff. So the products I want to start with are 10 beach towels, 5 goggle and snorkel sets, 3 coolers, 3 hammocks, 2 bodyboards, and 3 footballs. And that's just to start, and that's easy to change. If I'm going to have a suggestion box at the location of my business, and people want to see something else, they can write and put something in the suggestion box, and I can consider that, and I can phase some things out if they're not selling. So my target market is to the on-campus undergraduate population of MSU, and that's roughly right now about 1,500 students. Some of my strengths are that it is convenient because it is on campus. The pricing is lower than anything around campus, and the location as well, being in the lobby of the new dorms, it is convenient. The weaknesses I have is it is a rental business, so price or income can fluctuate a lot based on like people that rent products out. There are limited products. It's not like a convenience store where you go in and there's anything you want there. It's just the limited things that I have and my competitors. And some of the competitors that I do have are like Amazon, Walgreens, CVS, Target, and Walmart. And this is some of my promotional material. So these are just signs or flyers that I would have all year, like the whole time I was open. And they say the same thing. And then this one is my business card, and this one would be for opening day, and for a promotional part of it, I would, like at the bottom it says, if you show this ad, you get a free water bottle with like your rental. So that would just be for like the opening week that I start, and it would be a picture of the ad. So the ad will stay up. So the hours of operation, they would be Wednesday and Friday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then depending on my schedule with volleyball, I would want to be open one day on the weekend and from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the location would be the lobby of the new dorms. So my inventory, the space I need are just 2 storage tubs. It's about 6 feet long, 3 feet tall, and 3 feet wide. And if the location in the new dorms does have a closet, that would be beneficial for me, so to make sure like the products are safe and they're in a safe spot. And the people that the suppliers for R3 will be Walmart, Amazon, Swim Outlet, Holden Towels, and Franklin Sports, and that can also expand or it's smaller based on what products I'm bringing in and phasing out. So the pricing, so I looked up all the products that I wanted to buy, and for the daily rentals, I took 55% off of the price, and for the hourly rentals, I took 75% off the price to make it a lot more affordable. And some of the fees that I have are late returns, so for every 30 minutes past the time they said they would bring the product back, it would be a 50% increase from the time they rented the product. And then if an item is returned damaged or is lost, it's going to be the amount that you rented the product for, and then the full price of the product that I paid for, not like the 75 or 55%. So the amount of total expenses I have is $200, but I'm requesting $500 just to have some leeway, and if there's any shipping costs and the products that I am getting, and other miscellaneous costs like for the water bottles, I'm going to need some money for that for opening day. So my break-even analysis, if I was to sell one of each product for 20 days for a daily rate, I would break even, or if I was to sell one of each product for 36 hours in total for an hourly rate, I would break even as well. And so this is my income statement, and as you can see, like as it goes on, like in the second semester, I would pay back my Shark-Age loan, but the income in the second semester is significantly higher because that is around like spring break time and the weather does get nicer down here, so I'm assuming that more people would rent in that time. And then, so I would be profiting $350 by the end of my third semester. So my exit strategy, if there's an opportunity that presents itself that I think would be good for the business, I would be happy to sell the business to someone else. But if I don't, and I don't see an opportunity for it, then I will, like towards the end of my business, I will start advertising that I'm selling the products that I have left, so I can just get rid of them.
So can you go back to the pricing list just for a second?
Yeah.
So you may have sort of mentioned this, but I couldn't quite hear for sure. But what is the actual your cost for each of these items roughly?
So these are the costs that I would be renting it for.
Right.
But so based off of this, for a daily rate for a beach towel, I took 55% off of the original price. So
Off of your cost of the item, buying the item.
Yeah. So when I bought the item, I took 55% off for the daily and 75% off for the hourly.
Okay. So you basically only have to rent it twice really to make your money back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. On a daily rate.
Yes.
Okay. Roughly. All right. That makes sense. All right. I mean, do you think, once again, I don't know, but I mean, do you think that this is a good representation of the items that people are going to want to rent on a regular basis? I mean, obviously most of them are sort of, geared toward the beach, which makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. But I mean, are those the primary items that you think that people would be really?
So based on my survey, a lot of the people that did write in what they think that they would want to see or rent out had something to do with the beach. There was only like I said, there was inner tubes, people wanted lawn chairs. The only thing that wasn't really related to the beach that was in this survey was a hammock, and so I put that in there. But like I said earlier, I will have a suggestion box when I'm open, so if there is something that someone wants to see that's not there, they're more than welcome to write like a little note and put it in the suggestion box.
So once again, this would be a good question for the audience. I mean, do you think that's a good representation, or do you think there are other items that you think would be really beneficial to rent out?
How many of you have beach towels here?
So one of my main things for starting this business was a storage issue. Because I know in my room it's pretty crammed. So having like I don't have like a boogie board or a body board, so putting that in there just for fun, for $4 for a day. So it was mainly just like a storage issue, so that was one of the benefits of this business, is that you don't have to worry about, if you're out of state, bringing a beach towel from home or bringing goggles or snorkels. And a lot of times, like, I know I don't use a goggle and snorkel every time I go to the beach, but like every once in a while it would be fun.
Well, I have some, a few questions, and so just leave that one up there.
Okay.
So on the hammock, does that have a stand that goes with it, or how, does that have to tie
Trees.
between two trees, or
Yeah,
what?
trees. 'Cause
So
that
are you gonna
walking-
find those at the beach, or do they want it just on campus, or?
Well, it's wherever they want to go, honestly, but I know walking around campus, a bunch of people do have hammocks.
Okay.
So they're more than welcome, well, if they're allowed to use them on campus,
Okay.
they're more than welcome to, but they can take them to the beach as long as it's within the time they rented it for. I don't know where it goes.
Okay, so I wouldn't be so concerned about the storage space, because if we can give Dr. Williams an accurate account of what you need, I think that space is gonna be available. So I think, I don't know your age generation, but I would think that a bodyboard would be a lot harder for somebody to store on campus, and I think you only had 2 or 3 of those. So I might up those. And goggles and snorkel, I don't know, that might not be something that everybody has. I think you might want to kind of look at that again to see what your inventory is like, because if you only have a few of those, people might not come back to the business because it's always gone.
Yeah.
And then you have a late return policy, so who's gonna be there to pick up things? If somebody rents something for a daily and then they come back at 3 in the afternoon or 8 at night, I think you have to kind of look at your hours and have somebody, like for a daily, it has to be back at this time, or it's gonna be this cost if it comes in, and have it be a time that somebody's there to take that in, otherwise you won't know if it's late or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would think so. I mean, and I have no idea how dorms are even set up now, but I mean, whenever I was a college student, they usually had like a resident assistant or somebody that was there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, sitting at a front desk. Does that still exist, or is it all?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess my point in saying that is whether or not that person would be able to maybe take in the merchandise if it was like, middle of the night or something like that.
Right.
Somebody shows up with it.
They're not gonna do that, I don't think they will.
And you don't want them to be
No,
responsible
yeah,
for
so
it.
one thing I was kind of talking to Mackenzie about this before, was I was thinking, since I do, in the sheet that I have them fill out, I do have their phone number, so I could always shoot them a text, and when they come back, I can meet them, or I'll meet you at this time, but if that's still in the works, I still have to figure that out, but that is a possibility.
All right, so how would you keep track? Are you doing like an Excel spreadsheet? Like, how are you tracking the renters?
Yeah, so with those sheets of paper, at the end of each work day, I guess, I would put that into an Excel spreadsheet just so I have a record of it, and I can also see who keeps coming back and who doesn't, and the new customers I get.
Okay. And then as far as that return, I would probably think doing that next day returning, and then
Okay.
having that specific days or in times that you're actually doing your pickup, and that they agree to that as well.
Okay,
So
so
that'll
I'll
be a key
put that
thing.
in the waiver they sent us.
That would be good. And then another thing you should look at is umbrellas,
Yeah.
fans, like the electrical fans, and then also the chairs might be a big thing because
Yeah.
I don't like sitting in the fan. So
Mhm.
that's one thing for me right off top.
Yeah.
So definitely look into those.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, as we grow and stuff, I'll
Mhm.
bring in more stuff and phase out some other things, and beach chairs were definitely something that was brought up in umbrellas, but I just want to see where it goes and then
Yeah.
start bringing stuff in.
Gotcha. Good job.